fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the rest of the second wave of the 2.5 Simpsons figures from Jakks Pacific. We have Sideshow Bob, Itchy, and Scratchy. I was actually able to finally find these at Five Below, and I must have just gotten there right when they had just put a case out. I got lucky, because Itchy and Scratchy seem like they're only one per case. There were 2 or 3 Sideshow Bobs, and then everything else was just Krusty and Bart. So obviously, they're assuming Krusty and Bart are going to be the most popular, and that's why they have the biggest presence in the wave. But I think Itchy and Scratchy are also popular, so I don't know why they don't just do like an even number of each in a case, but here we are. Every time I go to Target, all I ever see is a Krusty or Bart just kind of, warming the pegs. I don't know why these are so hard to find, but I finally found the rest of Wave 2, only to find out that there's also a Wave 3 and a Wave 4. That I don't know if some websites have them. They're really overpriced, but at least I know they're coming. I just can't seem to find them anywhere, so we'll see. Maybe they'll show up at Target, maybe they'll show up at Five Below. Fingers crossed. But I'm really excited for these. I really like the 2.5-inch figures. Sideshow Bob comes in his orange prison jumpsuit, and then you have, classic look for Itchy and Scratchy. Turning on the back, you can see the Bart and the Krusty that are also in this wave. Those two are not hard to find. I feel like Walmart doesn't mess with these anymore. I never see these in my Walmart. It's either Target or Five Below or somewhere on the internet. That's your best places to look for these. But I'm going to go ahead and get these 3 out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. So here are the 3 figures out of the packaging. We'll start over here with Sideshow Bob. I think they did a pretty good job, especially with the hair. I feel like that's something that is hard to translate from 2 dimensions to 3 dimensions, but they did a pretty good job. Head can swivel side to side. You have a hinge and a rotation in the shoulder. The arm is one solid piece, so there's nothing in the elbow or wrist. And then for the legs, they're solid. They can kind of tilt forward. I guess if you were going to try to put him in like a sitting position, they can go maybe 45 degrees. That's about as far as they can go. Otherwise, they are one solid piece. But he pairs pretty nicely with the Krusty that is also in this wave. So it's nice to get these two together. I kind of wish it was just Sideshow Bob in his normal outfit, but I guess he really only, has that for a couple episodes in the beginning of the series, and then he leaves Krusty's employ pretty early on, and just has the prison jumpsuit. He does not come with any accessories, which is kind of a bummer, but still looks pretty good. Then we have Itchy and Scratchy. I think they turned out great. Itchy looks really good. He's got the little teeth there. Same articulation, head can spin side to side, hinge and rotation in the shoulder, nothing the rest of the arm, and then he can I feel like he can move his legs even less than Sideshow Bob, but you kind of get 45 degrees there. Also, the tail can spin around a little bit, so if you want to move that around, you can. And then he comes with this large mallet, which he can hold, but the way these all work, you kind of slide this into the hand, and he does hold it, but it's really only like the thumb and forefinger, and then it kind of like tries to go out. Like the rest of the hand won't grip it, and I don't know if it's just because it's so top heavy. And it also kind of makes him so top heavy that he can't really stand while he's holding it, which is kind of a bummer. He'll just like immediately fall forward. I'm trying to see if there's some kind of pose I can do where he won't immediately fall. But yeah, I just think he's a little too small in stature that the club is just so much heavier than his center of balance. But the figure looks great. I think it came out really nice. And then we have Scratchy here. He looks great. He can actually hold the mallet and still stand, which is nice. But also he has the tail that you can kind of put down, and that can kind of act, as a stabilizing agent because it's large enough that it can touch the ground. He can kick a little bit more forward so he could sit down, and then you could always move the tail out of the way if you wanted to. Otherwise, same hinge and rotation in the shoulder, and then side-to-side movement in the head. So yeah, I think they both came out great. I really love Itchy just because of the bright blue. I just think he looks so vibrant. I like Scratchy as well, don't get me wrong. And I love the expression that they gave with the kind of evil eyes. I love that. I really appreciate that. Even with the larger eyes for Itchy, I feel like it still fits. A lot of these characters end up getting the eyes that just kind of completely open, staring straight forward. It's not as jarring on the smaller figures as it is with the 5-inch, but I always appreciate when they give them some kind of expression with the eyelids, and I think that's nice. I just wish that the club wasn't so massive that he just falls forward. So unfortunately, if you want to just kind of pose him, unless you have something to peg him into, because he does have peg holes on the bottom of the feet, but you'd have to pose him without the club and just kind of put that in the front. But 3 solid figures. Really, really happy to add these to the collection. Like I said, I've been hunting them for quite some time and finally finished Wave 2, only to find out that there's 2 more I have to hunt down. 3 seems to be out in various places online. A lot of places come and gone already. I would assume maybe they'll start showing up in stores soon. 4 seems like it's on the horizon, like it's not quite out yet, so maybe have a little bit of time. Kind of makes sense because Wave 3 of the 5-inch is already hitting stores. So it would make sense, since they kind of launched together, that, you know, Wave 3 of both size classes would kind of be around at the same time. And it just took so long to get Wave 2. I don't really know why. The distribution is just kind of wonky on these. But I really like them. I really enjoy them. And definitely recommend picking these up if you can find them. If you're trying to buy them online, just don't pay too crazy a price. They should be about $5 a piece. And for that, I think they're totally worth it. I don't know that I'd pay like double that. I've seen some places try to charge like $60 for a set of 5, and that just seems nuts to me. That's over double, so wouldn't pay that much. But if you can find them for normal price, definitely recommend checking them out. I think they're pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.